Hello, everyone. It's Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, aka Unchained Hearts. And I have with me today Eve, I call her Eva, Howard, and she is my SSP sister. And we're here to talk about things, whatever may come to help each other and you all go through this time. It's sometimes the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, sometimes it's hard because I think, Eve, what do you think? I think because of the programming of you have a tree. Well, what does a tree really symbolize? You gotta, give everybody presents. Why? Did Jesus really, like I say, did Jesus really die on the cross? No, it was Simon. And, they didn't crucify him on a cross. They, all these things. And I'm not here to bash, anyone that is still religious. I'm not here to do that. I'm just here. And Eva, I'm pretty sure you're here too, is just to help everyone with the emotions and feelings, help one another also to break the programming. So how are you, Miss Eva?
I am good. I am really good. I'm actually doing a lot better this year than I was the previous years. Holidays have always been really hard for me. I remember the excitement when I was younger, and somewhere along the line, it was gone. It just disappeared. I would roll my eyes every time a Christmas song would come on. I was like the Grinch, just bah humbug. And and also very depressed on the holidays. And for some reason you get together with family and there's always alcohol involved. And it's been 5 years now. I stopped drinking, and so I feel really good about that. And I think that drinking and holidays is not a good combination. And I think we've had a couple of little talks about alcohol and what it does to a person. I think I had spoken with my medicine man, and he said, when you drink, like, we can't do ceremonies. We have to wait about 3-4 days before you can do a ceremony if you drink. And the reason why is because your spirit, your soul, what makes you you, leaves your body during this time. And that's why you get depressed, because your body is missing its soul. Your spirit, what makes you you, is gone. And it just kind of floats around up above you, and you cannot enter your body. And then you're open and susceptible to other spirits. I think that's why they call alcohol spirits. You're open, your body is open. You have no way to protect yourself of any type of demonic or any type of dark entity attachment that cannot actually be in this dimension without taking over a physical body. So I think alcohol is one of the worst drugs out there, and it's legal. And I'm hoping, that this show, we can help some people that, tend to overdo it or drink too much or are alcoholics, and they use it to self-medicate because, they're sad, because the holidays are, unless you're a kid, are very depressing.
Yeah. And, I unfortunately, I got tied up in that after my divorce. I became an alcoholic, and I saw my mom be an alcoholic, and just a lot of trauma there growing up. And it wasn't until later that I went to, DBT, it's dialectical behavioral therapy, that I learned how to cope with the fear, with the emotions and things like that. I learned different, what they call coping skills. And I was able to just let go. I was able to transform myself. I was able to love myself. Like I said before, it took me about a year to stop the negative self-hate and talk when I would look at myself in the mirror, right? Because we have all those programmings from when we were kids, of the negative words that our parents would use, or whoever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I often look back and I'm like, wow, all I wanted back then was just to numb the pain. You know, I just wanted to run away, but you cannot run away.
No,
You know,
you
and
can't.
I would beat myself up because I'm like, I'm supposed to be, you know, a superhero. I'm supposed to be number one in everything I do, you know, because that's how I was brought up. You know, if I would, in elementary, I was in second grade. I think I brought home a C, and my mom, couldn't sit for days. So it was always an A. If I had a B minus, well, why isn't it not a B plus or an A, you know? But anyway, going back to the alcohol thing, I see like the main guy being alcohol, right? The main god of spirits. And then we have tequila, we have vodka, we have, you know, the German beer, we have the blonde, we have all these other, you know, beers, and then you have the wine coolers. So everything is like a family to that entity. He's the one that controls them. And so I feel like say if you drink tequila, well, you're going to act a certain way. If you drink, you know, it's whiskey, Hennessy, you know, all of these are entities that only live when a person is so freaking drunk, out of their consciousness, right mind, out of their right mind. So your spirit, right, the person's spirit leaves that soul base, right, because we all have a soul, right, a mind, a body, and our spirit is the one that rules us, right? So I just feel that something comes in and takes over that person that's drinking like too much, you know. That person's happy and everything, and then all of a sudden they destroy things, they, you know, or it just depends. And then you mix them, you know, you mix this with that, and then what if you're doing another substance here and there? They could just get crazy. And then, you know, what is the outcome? The outcome was for you to get drunk in what 10 minutes instead of enjoying the family. What is the outcome that we want this holiday when we spend time with our family? You know, it could be your mom, your grandma's, whatever's last Christmas. You never know what can happen, right? So I would think that our goal in life is not just to go to drink and party our life away. Yeah, of course, you're going to reward yourself when you do great things, but I don't know. What's your take on that?
You're exactly right. The way it was explained to me was, you know, every single different alcohol contains a different spirit. You know, you get a tequila, and a lot of people are like, oh, when I drink tequila, you know, this happens or that happens, you know. And when I was drinking, if I drank tequila, I would black out. And I would have no idea what I was doing or where I was. And, you know, I end up in doing something extremely foolish, something I wouldn't normally do if I wasn't drinking. And vodka was a totally different experience, you know, and also beer. And it's just every single bottle of alcohol contains an entity, a spirit, and that it goes into your body and it pushes your essence right out. And then you are doing things that you normally wouldn't do. You're having unprotected sex. You're, you know, jumping into a vehicle and driving it, putting yourself and others at risk, you know, or else you're, you know, I would get like violent. And there was just no way for me to control that. And I mean, I've done a lot of really dumb things when I was drinking, and I just think it's like one of the worst legal drugs out there that the government, you know, just they allow this because, you know, why not? You know, it's just one thing for us to just have to deal with during the holidays, and you know, the one thing is not to drink.
What happens? Sorry, what happens to our abilities? You know what I mean? It's like it's like taking like the big pharma. Like oh my God, they had me on I don't know how many freaking pills of psych meds and heart medication and a CPAP, and it's like, okay, and then you drink, or you know, it's just, I also feel that there's different, we'll say medication things that are given from these doctors, right? That also have little mini gods or nanobots, you know, just like in alcohol, and they make you do things that you wouldn't normally do because they all attach to the brain, our brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a virgin brain, right? Our stomach, we're eating all the right things, organic foods. And then you introduce this substance or you introduce this alcohol, and it's like, now, how long is it going to take for you to detox after? Like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, that's okay. I'll go to the gym and work it out. I'll have to be there for like, do like 3 hours of cardio, whatever, but I'll work it out. Well, it's, you're using your body, you're overextending you're overusing your heart, your, you know, your lungs, your kidneys. So it's just interesting. Like, for example, when I had this back pain, I had this surgery and they had to give me the very famous medication that they give here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I couldn't stand it. It would numb a little bit of the pain, but then I would become very, very anxious.
Agitated. Yeah.
And in a bad mood. And I only took it for maybe the first week. And then after that, I started breaking it in half. And then now I don't drink it. You know, I'd rather do CBD or RSO. Susan Emart, she does a really good concoction of that. The resin, and it helps with the pain, and it's natural. Actually, I can actually sleep now with that. And then during the day, she also makes this thing with CBD, and less of the more potent one is RSO, the one that they give to cancer patients. But anyway, CBD and something else, but it helps a lot, and it helps me to focus as well. It helps me to relax, to not be so anxious about, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to pay that bill? You know, when am I going to be able to work out? Things like that. Real quick. So with these entities, what I call entities, it's like they make something to temporarily, you know, blind you or take away the pain, but at what cost? There's always I wish, right? If you wish to someone or an entity or a God, right? There has to be something in return. Like I always talk about that movie with Wonder Woman, right? She has him at the lasso. You know, he's always this, he has this guy where he wants to go into the satellites and becoming little nanoparticles out into, and, you know, be able to control the world that way. And then Wonder Woman, you know, gets him on the truth lasso and says, why are you doing this? Don't you love your son? Or something like that. It's what I'm trying to say is like, whenever this guy would say, what is your wish? What do you wish for? And then he would say, oh, I want to be the richest man. Okay, but I'll take your oil, or I'll take this in return. Everything that you do, as far as I think, has a consequence in life.
Oh,
and that's the dance.
no. Definitely, it's a balance of power. You know, with everything, there's going to have to be an exchange. It's always been like that. People are just not aware of it. You know, you give yourself to something in return, you know, and it might not be something that you're even aware of what you're giving. You know, it could be your kindness, it could be your compassion, it could be your heart, it could be, yeah, you know, your dreams. I mean, everything, you know, it's an exchange. And it's not a good one. So, you know, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that every single person has the power to manifest their life exactly the way that they want. Exactly. I mean, and all it takes is just like being able to, you know, pray, you know, whatever it is, you know, God, Buddha, universe, deity, or anything, and show your gratitude for everything that you have. You know, I mean, even as simple as having a roof over your head, you know, having food in your refrigerator, not being hungry, you know, having family, having friends, having support, having a job. I do this probably several times a day. And I've seen it work. I know for a fact that it does work. You know, you just have to be able to show your undying gratitude to the universe for everything that you have. And once the universe realizes that, you know, you're grateful for what it gives you, it's going to keep giving it. It's the same thing as, you know, you have a friend and you're just so grateful for your friend for everything your friend or your boyfriend or your husband or your parent do, you know, thank you, I appreciate it so much. You know, they're going to be willing to give you more. And that's the way it works. And a lot of people don't understand that. And, you know, they harm people, or they lie, they manipulate, and you know, you're not, it may seem like you're getting what you want now, but there's a price for it at the very end. And what it is you're lying, you're stealing, you're, you know, pulling the wool over someone's eyes. I mean, to your true character, when you can just remain true to yourself and just show your gratitude, like on a daily basis. And that's how you manifest. I mean, it's really easy. It's simple. There's no harm to anyone. And it turns your heart, you know, to the vibration that your body should be, and the way that everybody should be. You know, we should be grateful for everything, harm to none, love each other, acceptance. You know, that is the next step, is, you know, the ascension, the 5D ascension that we are going through, and what the earth is going through at this moment. And a lot of starseeds and a lot of people are here for that. We came here specifically for this, to help humanity to be able to ascend from 3D to 5D.
I agree. And then, of course, like you were saying, to learn how to love ourselves, you know, unconditionally, to show others how to love themselves too, and do harm to none. That's pretty much all it is. Staying in balance, you know, in the gray, not go white, not go black. It has to be the gray. Thank you for that. So, yeah. You know, I was thinking, when you said, you know, be grateful for your food, the apartment. Every night I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful I have a bed. I'm grateful I have food. I don't have to, you know, go out on dates anymore so I can eat. I have my own food, right? You don't have to sell your soul. You don't have to sell your body. You don't have to, you know, how do you say, compromise yourself, right? Because then there goes the guilt the next day. Why did I do this? Why did I sleep with this person, or whatever? And that's what Lexi Eisenhower and Dr. Maria Salas and I were talking about yesterday too, is all the love bugs, right, that go in the digestive system and in the other systems. And, you know, when you kiss, even it's, you know, it goes into that other person. So if, like, say a person's married, right, or you have a couple that are, you know, you're always with the same couple and stuff, and, you know, you detox at the same time, well, then that's great. But, you know, what about these other people that like keep sleeping around, which is, I'm not judging, okay, because people do that. So it's just all the bugs, all the demons, all the, you know, jealousy. I think also jealousy is a bug too, when what they call the green-eyed monster, you know. And jealousy is a program, love is a program. It's like, I always ask people, well, what is love to you? What does it mean to be loved? Is it because, you know, somebody is giving you, we'll say like the 5 languages of love. Okay, somebody cooks for you, you really like that. Words of affirmation, you like to be taken care of financially. What does love mean to you? Is it a hug? Is it, you know, security? What is it? You know, what is love to you? And do you really need another person to love you? No, I feel if you find out who you are and trust yourself, go with your gut feeling, right? If you love yourself for who you are, then that should be enough. It shouldn't be Miss Popular. I gotta have like 30,000 friends, you know. I have to be liked by everyone, not necessarily because we don't all fit in, and it's okay, you know. Again, how bad do you want to be liked? You're gonna go and do things that you're not really supposed to do for your body because you know tomorrow it's going to be worse. You're hanging out with friends that encourage you, hey, let's go party and drink and gamble and go, you know, do this and this and that every day. Well, who are you doing it for? Like, is it hurting your body? There has to be a balance. I'm just saying. Why are people insecure? How can you, I don't know. I just tend to cut myself off. Like, I'd rather be alone than, you know, and I'm not alone because I got myself, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not here for a popularity thing, you know.
No, exactly. I think the turning point for me was last Valentine's Day, because I was single, and I, you know, all these people were posting on Facebook and Instagram. Look what I, you know, someone's, you know, my love bought me, my boyfriend, my girlfriend bought me. You know, people were getting engaged. I mean, I was far from that. And, you know, it bothered me in a way, but I was like, you know what? I don't need anybody to buy me flowers or chocolates or jewelry or anything like that, because I can provide that. The one relationship that I should be working on is the relationship that I have with myself. So I went out and I bought myself, you know, a dozen pink roses and a beautiful vase. And I bought myself a card, and I bought myself some chocolates. And you know what? I felt great. I felt amazing. I didn't have to worry about anybody not buying me these things, because I can provide them for myself. I mean, maybe some people look at that and say, you know, that's pathetic, but you know, it's true. You need to work on you before you can, you know, love anybody else or give yourself to anybody. You have to be able to love who you are first, and then you find someone who is exactly the same way, and you would be amazed. I mean, the relationship, you don't, you know, there's so many things wrong with relationships and the way that women sometimes act. And I'm not trying to call down on that, you know, because I mean, I witnessed you know, very close family members acting like this, you know, very passive aggressive and manipulative. And
it's like, how bad do they want that butt implant? Sorry.
Exactly. You know, I mean, do you have to alter your body to get people to like you? You don't. Love your body. Love exactly the way that it looks, and don't care what anybody else thinks at all. I mean, just self-acceptance. I mean, that's the number one thing that, you know, I mean, can help you with everything in your life. And you just have no idea what it is. You know, people are like, whoa, it's a big ego. It's not an ego. It's confidence in who you are. You know, it's being able to trust fall back into the universe and know that someone has your back. And, you know, and if you can continue to keep praying and praising,
yeah,
exactly. Trust fall into the universe, because the universe has your back, you know. And sometimes you're like, oh, I just worry about this. And it's like, don't worry about it, girl, because as long as you believe that it's all going to work out, it will work out. And that goes hand in hand with manifesting as well.
Yes. And that real quick, let's go into manifesting, but I think what you were talking too about it, I think we can say conviction versus condemnation, right? Like shame, that comes like from the religious programming, the educational programming, the programming that they have here, you know, shame on you for, you know, not being this Wonder Woman and working, you know, 2 jobs, taking care of a husband and feeding the children and not writing your book, you know, shame on you. Like, who said that we had to, you know, dress a certain way or have how many careers to be successful? And that's another thing we were talking about earlier. I learned from Bonacci, I forget his first name, but he's also talking about how the English language is used for spells. And so it's like conviction versus condemnation, success, sucking seed. Who are you gonna suck up to? If they climb the corporate ladder, girl, with the B word, girl, I am that ladder, I'm up here. Like, I don't need to climb your ladder, you know?
Exactly.
We got off a little bit on that tangent, but yeah,
okay.
Self-love, self-esteem, rewarding yourself, and physical health, right? Like walking at least 20 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be that you're you know, doing 3 hours a day at the gym, which I do miss, but manifesting, like becoming confident in manifesting, like I need to manifest a stationary bike. I need to manifest fixing my vehicle, right? So the mind, our mind, like I say, our mind is our universe, because our mind is always going to say yes, like, or like the universe, right? Yes, I am saving money to get a booster for a vehicle. Yes, I have an envelope saving money, even if you have $1 in there, saving money for my bike. You know, yes, the mind is always in the now. It's like a little child, like when we were kids, right? When we were saying, tomorrow we'll go buy such and such, or tomorrow we'll go to the movie. And the little child is like, is tomorrow today? We're like, no, you know. And in Spanish, we would say, mañana, mañana, like mañana pasado. Mañana pasado, back 2 days, mañana enfrente, you know, mañana, mañana. Just like when we were kids, manifesting, let's see, challenging yourself, right? I always tell people, it's like, you know, they ask me, Veronica, well, how can I help society? And I'm like, just tell your story, baby. Start a YouTube channel, start a blog or something on Facebook, whatever kind of outlet you can find to tell your story, because we all are very important. And I feel we should all tell our story, because we're all one. I think because we all feel like, you know, whenever you're upset, you text me or call me or me, you know, it's like, man, I love you, man, I got you, you know, we'll talk for an hour or whatever, and then we're like, yeah, we got this, you know, iron sharpens iron. So okay, yeah, and then we'll do the money mantra at the end, remind me, but we still have a long way to go. Because I also talk about, like, why do people celebrate Christmas versus Krampus, right? Okay, you go, because I talk a lot.
Well, from what I understand, I mean, Krampus has his own day on December 5th. You'll get somewhere in Germany. They have like parades. They have people dress up in these elaborate costumes. I mean, the mask is carved out of wood, which I think, you know, I mean, it's I've seen some of the videos on YouTube. I wish I would have sent you a couple of links so we could show them, but it is insane. And the legend of Krampus is he's the son of Hel, Hel. It's a Norse god or goddess. I wasn't too sure, because I had gotten 2 of those. So, which is really weird, because they talk about North paganism, but Krampus wasn't mentioned in any ancient German sources that I read. Is also, Old Norse was never spoken in Austria or Germany. So we have to wonder, where did this come from? You know, just like every story that we've ever read, or someone had written about, you know, vampires, werewolves, blah, blah, blah.
They made it up.
Either they made it up, or there was an actual entity that they were able to manifest by telling this story, that Krampus was, you know, you kind of see him paired with Saint Nicholas, but you know, he's not human, he's a demon. He's half goat, half demon, hairy, black or brown hair, goat horns, forked tongue, sharp fangs, cloven hooves. I don't know. He was originating as a German Christmas tradition in the 12th century. So, I mean, that's a long time. Yeah. I mean, and they still celebrate it.
Yeah, and then the Catholic was upset because people were celebrating Krampus, or Krampus, whatever it's called, Krampus.
Krampus, yeah.
And it's like, then they told people to not celebrate it, but then it's part of the tradition anyway. And how I see that devil, quote unquote, or Satan, all right, so because horns, and there are different ETs, extraterrestrials, that are actually red, and that actually do look like this devil thing. So they are mercenaries. And Patty Broussard talks about this, how they're paid, however, whoever is the one that's paying higher for them to go do their deed, whether it's good, quote, or bad, they don't care. They will go and get whoever's paying them the most, and then they'll go be like mercenaries. You know, if it's whatever the assignment is, the highest bidder, that's who they go for. So that's like the Catholic Church. That's how they try and scare kids, like, be good, you know, because Santa, which is another word for Satan too, and Saturn.
Right. Yeah. Saturn, Satan, same thing.
Yeah, like, and then Santa Claus, all the movies, if you see, you know, when there's a movie that has a young kid and now he has to be the apprentice of Santa, that to me is like the grooming, like a Mason grooming his grandchild, firstborn, right? Royalty bloodline, to be groomed for the Mason programs. It could be a super soldier program, it could be just satanic, it could be, you know, going into business, whatever it is. And yeah, so that's mercenary. Also, Iris was telling me about Nimrod, and then I heard a little bit about that online today, as like how he married his mother, and somehow he got chopped up in I don't know how many different ways, and the mother puts him under this tree, and every year, you know, she goes to him and, you know, is worshiping him, and there goes the symbol for the tree on Christmas. And then also, what was I gonna say? He wanted to be worshipped, right? And then also there's another tale where it says that Nimrod wanted to communicate, right, with God, that he wanted to go up and be like God. And so they made the Tower of Babel. And that God, quote unquote, didn't, which is an AI God here, didn't like what was going on. So he tricked them with different languages, and those different languages, I have that different language. You know, it's not the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is an AI thing too. So all those languages, they're all of the races, all of us, ETs, you know, Starseeds, whoever, it's all mixed in there. It's all of our languages. So another thing is, why were they building this tower? It's actually because they were building a spaceship to get out of the prison planet. So what is your take on all this?
Well, I mean, I totally agree. Well, number one, this is a prison planet. Everybody's just kind of recycled and reused, and there's trauma. People don't understand. It's like, why, you know, I mean, and it's generational trauma, you know? So, I mean, something that could have happened to your great-great-grandmother, and yet it's coming out in your DNA. You're feeling anxious, you're having panic attacks. You're not trusting of either certain situations or genders or anything, and it's generational, and we have the power to stop it. We have the power to just say, that's enough, I'm not going to do it anymore. This is, you know, I'm turning things around, and there it is. You stopped it, not only for you, but for like your children, for your grandchildren, for their kids, and so on, you know. And that's one of the things that, you know, a lot of people really need to understand, that trauma can be passed down from, you know, your ancestors down to you. And what we're going through right now would be something, you know, that happened, you know, like say in either the early 1900s or the late 1800s, and it's coming out into our generation. Just like the boomers had their trauma, we certainly have ours, and I'm sure our children and so on, but, you know, we just have the power to just stop it and just, we're done, not doing it anymore, and heal. And that's one of the things that I had to do, you know, because I'm a healer. I'm able to heal people. And I'm also able to heal my own trauma, my own PTSD, and it's amazing. And we all have this ability, you know, to do so. It's just, you know, you're told at a really young age that it's not possible. You know, you have dreams of you're flying, and then you tell your mom or dad, I flew, you know, I can do this. Oh, that's just a dream. That's not real. You can't do that, you know. And then, you know, you're told, you're programmed from a very young age that there's, you know, they tell you things that aren't true. I mean, it's something that, you know, all the adults, you know, I'm not saying all of them, but, you know, your teachers and everybody else that you have in your life will tell you, no. And you have no choice as a child but to believe that this is true. And, you know, there you go. Automatic programming, you know. I know that there was all kinds of things that they talked about. I was looking up Krampus. I'm not even sure if I'm saying any of these right. Frau Perchta, who's a witch who's known to rip out your guts and replace it with garbage.
No. They would tell the kids, if you're not good.
Yeah, there's the programming.
The good. And then, they would say that this witch would come and cut up the little kids' guts and stomach and put hay or whatever, or would give them charcoal instead of, it's like, you got to be good. You got to go to church and get saved, because if you don't, you're going to go to hell and burn. It's like, really? Nah, bro, I'm good. Like, no, I saved myself. I am just like the real Joshua, Christ. I can heal myself. I can heal others as well, and then they say, well, can you walk on water? Watch this, telekinesis.
Exactly.
I practice with the wind, the water, fire. That's the thing. It's like they want us to have a middleman. They want us, well, you can't go to heaven unless you do this, and that. Is like, really? It's just so wrong. Because we do come from, the higher realms of, and even higher than the angelics. We are the stars, we are the galaxies, we are the gods, we are, and we come together here to show people how to break these programming, how to love themselves, how to make their mission or missions come true, how to let go of those limitations, how to program your subconsciousness by seeing the thought there, the actual picture come to life of what you want. Like, I want an RV, I want to go travel, and a truck. And I have a vision board that I was trying to show you earlier, but I don't know if it'll work. It's like, I have a cake, I got me, and a picture of Lucy, right? Maybe one day I'll get married again, and that's a programming, because I don't have to get married. But
no.
House and a truck down here. So anyway, visualization is just, how do we manifest what we want? We visualize it, we write it down, we post it on pictures. I make junk journals, so you can put magazine stuff in there, memories of going to the movies, even if it's by yourself. Treat yourself going to the movies. I like that idea of buying yourself flowers.
Really. Oh yeah, anything that you want and you desire. You don't need someone to buy it for you. Save up your money, go buy it for yourself. I mean, and when you have it, you feel so good because you did it, just nobody else. And then you don't have someone saying, well, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me. Oh. You don't need to hear that kind of negative talk. I mean, just provide it for yourself. I mean, there's power in being single, not, being celibate. I mean, you are able to hold that power. And I mean, I've noticed like a big increase in my abilities, my gifts, being able to not really read people's minds, but I don't know what it is, but it's like, I know what they're going to talk about. I know things, and, I'm claircognizant, and with the five senses, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient. I mean, there's clairgustance. There's just so many. Yeah. And we're all capable of it.
Too, and I love it because I can talk, like, if I don't send you a text or Susan a text, my ears ringing. It's like, you guys are thinking about me. Hey, what do you want to talk about? So like, all in my mind, I will talk with you guys, or I'll go into, to sleep and then go visit you guys and stuff. And I just really like how we talked the other day of how when we first started talking online, when was it, like last year sometime?
No, it was this summer. Because I was in Arizona when we met, which is weird because I was like an hour from you. And we were like, we need to go get coffee and like hang out. And then my father got sick, so I had to come back to the Midwest. But we were like an hour from each other. And I was asking you, I think I asked you, I was like, where are you? Whereabouts are you? And then on my mind just automatically shot to like a desert setting, and I seen like, you know, mountains and stuff. And I was like, oh, she's in Arizona. And then when you told me where you were, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't believe that, you know, and I was like, I apologized to you immediately. I'm like, I didn't, you know, I didn't want to I didn't go in your house, but I saw, you know, the outside and everything. I wasn't seeing anybody else's, you know, but I was just seeing yours. And I was like, I apologize. I'm like, I wasn't trying to, you know, spy on you, you know, just remote viewing where you were. And it was one of the first times that I had actually done that and was correct. So I was like, validation. But the thing is that we're close now. I mean, even if we're not close in miles, we're close because we, you know, try to speak to each other on a daily basis, or, you know, several times a week, and send each other stuff. And, you know, when I'm having bad days, I know that I can rely on you to like call you and or else leave you a message. And, you know, you always get back to me. You always make me feel so much better.
You too.
I love you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you, Mama. I think the hardest thing, I think one of the hardest things that we had to get over in being used in the secret space program is the whole twinning thing that they did with us, and how, you know, they erased our memories, how we know who our twin flames are, but we can't be with them, but it's okay now because, you know, we had to break away from that programming too, while they are getting their memories. And who knows if they're ever gonna, you know, if we're ever gonna see them physically. It's like, I'm already over that. And I think you helped me a lot with that too. And I hope that I helped you too. We just got to keep talking. A lot of people are still having to be activated. You know, the sleeper cells or whatever, they're going to be waking up soon as well.
Yes.
What, you know, I've had these memories, and, you know, when I was a kid, I used to watch Wonder Woman and the Hulk, and later I just identified as the Hulk, you know, and I would get mad and I would break things, and I would, even if I didn't touch things, the electricity would be, you know, messed up. The lights would just like break. My vehicle would stop running. My, you know, the radio would go, my phone, anything. And later on, I just was like, oh my God, I started getting memories of being the Hulk and being, you know, in that program, in the Regent tank and things like that, my green color, what they did to me. And then just the other day we were talking, you and I, and you were like saying how, you know, because I told you that I see you in like tight black, and then Gamora came to mind, and then we started talking, and how you told me you Gamora, and like, oh my God, that makes sense, you know. And then we were talking about the Phoenix lights and how I don't remember. I need to work on my subconscious. Like somehow they erased the program of the Phoenix lights. I was like, what's that? I never really knew what that was until somebody mentioned it, and then you mentioned them. Like, what is it?
That was Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, and I know we were involved.
and I was there. I was in Phoenix when this happened, and I have no memory of it. I mean, they wiped it completely out. I mean, from even like a half a day before it happened to almost a day after it happened. I just total just I can't even pull it. I can't even remember the news or nothing. It was like about 7 years ago, and I was watching something on TV, and they were talking about the Phoenix lights, and they flashed a date on the screen, and I was like, oh my God, mom. And I was talking to my mother, and I was like, look, Mom, I was like, we were in Phoenix during this time. And she's like, you don't remember? And I'm like, remember what? I don't remember anything. This happened when we were there, and I don't have any recollection, any memory of it whatsoever. I don't even remember seeing any of it on the news or people talking about it or anything. I mean, just until, what was it, 2014. I mean, that was a long time. That was almost 19 years before I could even realize and put the two together that I was there at this time, that I was used to in this project, and that you and I were together. And it's really hard because I'm trying so hard to pull that memory up. Oh, I need to remember. There are so many things. and just, I do have like these little patchwork memories, as I call them. And, you know, I'm hesitant to sew them together and try to put it all together. But I know that, you know, being a starseed, I know that the earth is not my home. I mean, I always felt like that, even as a young child. It was just like, I'd always be looking up where, you know, homesick, you know, and not really sure of how this place works. Even at a young age, I just realized there were things, you know, age 3, age 4, that, you know, things that they were telling me was not true. Things I was learning in school was not right. I had struggled with math because, you know, math is not correct. They don't teach you the correct math. They're off. I know, I just had a really hard time here on this planet. And it wasn't until I'd say I had, many near-death experiences. But I had one in 2016 where it was almost like somebody just like shut off the computer, just, it was like complete darkness. And then it was like a reboot, and then I was back again. And, you know, I after that, I was like, it was like I had focus. You know, I knew what I needed to do. I knew that I almost messed it up completely. I was so angry at myself, you know, but I mean, I had to forgive myself. I had to stop, you know, using alcohol. I had to go to a treatment facility. I spent like a week in a psych ward, and, you know, then I went to treatment, and I went to a halfway house, and I did that all on my own. I didn't do it by any courts or anything like that. And, it seemed like, and then the more they had me on like so many antipsychotics and things to sleep and things to wake up. And, you know, I was just miserable. I was on like 18 pills a day. We get into like, you and I talk about pharmaceuticals and how that they use these pharmaceuticals to even do more control over us. And, I spoke to my doctor because she was just really open-minded. I knew that she was open-minded, and I was like, I need to get off this medication. I was on medication for high blood pressure. I was on medication for anxiety. I was on medication, an antipsychotic to go to sleep. It was super heavy duty, you know, where I'd still feel groggy for hours after I woke up. They said I was type 2 diabetic. I mean, I was taking so much medication. It was making me ill. It was making me sick. And so I just weaned myself off of it with the doctor's help. And I don't take any type of medication, any type of pharmaceutical. Everything I take is all natural herbs from Gaia. And just my whole way of life just completely changed. I started eating organic fruits and vegetables, you know, because, like, you know, you have to treat your body. You have to take really good care of your body, because, you know, the imbalance comes out, and it can come out in like mental distress. It can come out in suicidal tendencies. It can come out just, you know, obesity is like, you know, really a bad, you know, it's a condition that a lot of people suffer from. And in doing so, I mean, I was like 200 and some pounds, you know, back in like 98, 99. And I was miserable. And then they put me on some pills to help me lose weight, and it just made me feel worse. And just taking care of my body now, not drinking soda. You know, sugar is bad. Sugar is very bad. I can't, you know, I have a intolerance to dairy. You know, my gluten makes me break out. I get like breakout everywhere with gluten. So I can't even, you know, eat gluten. And just keeping my body really clean, and just, you know, being able to, as a healer, especially, I don't know how I knew this, but I was told, you know, I had many guides, and they told me, you know, clean up your body. You want all these abilities and you want your gifts. The universe is there to give it to you. You just have to prove that you're worthy, and you have to treat your body as a temple. And I'm doing so. I mean, I kicked a really bad soda habit. I was drinking like, you know, 3 to 4 to 5 sodas a day. That's a lot of sugar, you know, at the end of the year. And just drinking more water, filtered water, you know, make sure that it's, you know, purified or filtered. You can do it yourself. Just don't drink the tap water. They put a lot of fluoride, a lot of chlorine and everything into the tap water. And fluoride just calcifies your pineal gland. And, you know, then that's, you know, once you once this is calcified, woof.
Shungite in there.
Oh, yeah.
My solution
That's
for
awesome.
is shungite. Like Iris Jackson would say, shungite. I'm like, no, it's shungite. She's going. But yes, I feel if you talk to your water, if you talk to your food or whatever, they're sentient beings. You know, if you talk to your phone, I feel, you know, people say bless your food, but I don't, because it's called be less. So I don't be less my food, right?
Yeah.
Trying to find my food. You know, you can put your hands over it, or even right before you start eating and say, thank you, you are good. It's all about our programming our mind and the water and whatever we touch and drink, because, you know, the Midas touch, we got the Midas touch, right? We turn everything that we touch into gold.
Exactly. And that's like a real thing too. I mean, once you learn to manifest, I bought a bracelet. I wear like these bracelets with crystals and all kinds of stone. I have shungite. I have something for
I have one just
evil
like the evil eye. I wear that.
The evil eye one right here. And I bought this manifesting bracelet, and well, after I manifested everything, you know, because we didn't have a house, we didn't have a home, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car. I mean, this was like 3 months ago. And in that time period, I got a house, everything. The bracelet broke. And I was really upset. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take it back and I'm going to have them fix it. And my daughter told me, she said, Mom, you know, I heard this. She's like, I just wanted to pass this on to you. But the reason why the bracelet broke is because you don't need it anymore. You figured out how to manifest. And that's why it broke. It did its job and it left. And I was just like, so amazed. You know, she's, for her age, just so smart. And it's true, because I mean, I manifested everything just like within a couple of months, and I had it, everything down to like every detail that I wanted.
And remember what you had to do though. You had to let go of these relationships. Remember, we kept talking about that. I'm like, Mama, you got to get away from that. You got to get, you know, it's not good for you. And please don't, it is like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you just got to get out of there. Got to leave that person, you know?
Yes. I mean, it's power. It's, you know, containing your power, using your power, and everybody has it. You know, women especially are extremely powerful beings, you know, but we're treated as less. And, you know, back in a long time ago, women were treated differently. You know, they were considered, you know, higher than what they are now. I mean, you got to think, only 100 years ago, we couldn't vote, you know, 100 years ago. Right? And all these women that worked for equal rights, worked for our rights so that, you know, we could get a job, be like in the 1970s, you know, I mean, it was unheard of to see a woman in you know, law enforcement and being anything like that. You know, it was, there was so, oh my gosh, I just can't believe that it you know, we got power back. And then you know, then you see things like the music videos and stuff like that, and women are, you know, degrading themselves, letting someone use that power, taking that power from them, and it just kind of going backwards. And I just had to say something about it, because it's just, it really hurts my heart to see the women doing things that they do on videos, and it's just sad, Mama.
I know, it's like we have to get our integrity back, you know. And how do we do that? And it starts by going within and forgiving ourselves for all the stuff we went through. And like I used to think, you know, how the BIBLEs would say you have to forgive everybody, and I'm like, why? It's not my fault that he did that to me, or he did, or she, whatever, you know. It's not my fault. I don't have to forgive them. I can only forgive myself, because I'm not going to take responsibility for what they call here is karma, or an imbalance, right? Because karma is like the yin and yang, the gray area where we have this to stay. And yeah, we are powerful creators. We have our Stargate. That's how we create. And I think it's so important, like for people to understand, you know, how, like when a wounded man comes to you, you know, and how if it's legit, like a legit situation, a legit relationship, how you can heal that man just by our Stargate. Our DNA takes over their DNA. We are like Mother Earth. We how do you say? We transmute their pain. We transmute, like healers that we are. We transmute their pain. We take it in and we just create goodness. We create healing. We create positive thoughts. You know, we eliminate whatever sickness may be in their body just by being women. Now imagine if the woman, right, if the women would put their mind to healing themselves and not thinking ill of others, not always comparing themselves to another girl because maybe she has this house and keeping up with the Joneses and mutilating body. You know, I have to have bigger boobs this year. I have to have a bigger you know, it's idolizing the stripper world. And I'm not talking bad about it because I do have friends that do that for a living, but it's what makes you happy but really happy, because a lot of people will hide behind that. Well, you know, I got money and that's what I need and that makes me happy, but at the end of the day they're crying because they really don't love themselves. They've sold their body, they've sold their soul, they've sold their even plasma. People like, you know, had to get plasma is giving your essence away, your DNA. And I'm not downing anybody who, you know, who had to do that to make a living. It's just, you know, when you give, you're giving up your essence, you're giving up your life source. And it could be energetically, it could be physically, it could be what you're taking in, you know, the memes that you're looking at, the programs on TV. Did you accomplish the 10, you know, when we were in high school, they would say, write 10 things down that you want to do every day. And even if you mark one off or two, that next day you've done something, you know, write down your goals and accomplish something. Just some people are just really afraid of like that word succeeding, right? A lot of people are afraid of like being, you know, just accomplishing their goals. Maybe they're afraid of that, or they're afraid of, if they do that, oh wow, now they're going to criticize me because I have a new truck or I have a new house, or who does she think she is? You know, it's, again, we talked about it in the beginning, self-love, self-esteem. How are you, how insecure are you? What can you do to make yourself more secure? What can you do to thrive in your self-made business? You know, how can you use your abilities to help Mother Earth and promote what we're here to do to promote? What is it? Self-love, right?
Acceptance, self-love, no judgment. I mean, just, and that's exactly what I think. If you have, you know, Dolores Cannon, she passed away, but she had, she was a big believer. She was like a quantum healer, and she was able to, you know, basically tap into other people that she had spoken with. I mean, that would come through, and she would speak with them through another person. And, you know, she was talking about, you know, Earth is going through an ascension, you know, and from 3D to 5D, and it's going to split. And this Earth is going to remain 3D, and people there, you know, the ones that are, you know, hateful or hate, you know, hate or, you know, judgmental, racist, anybody who's holding on to that 3D mentality is going to stay on that Earth. And then the Earth, if the 5-dimensional Earth is going to be, you know, acceptance, you know, no judgment, unity, you know, love, all of the wonderful, there's that balance, you know, it has to split. And then, you know, people are going to think, oh, you know, well, I think she put it as the people are going to be like, oh, you know, that poor thing, she died believing that, you know, but there's not going to be any death involved. It's just going to be a separation, you know, the balance is going to right itself, you know, and the earth will heal.
I think with this whole take the baby Jabberwocky or not take the baby Jabberwocky, it's already, first they started with racism, black, white, you know, and we're all made of different colors. It's not just black and white out there in the universe, you know. And then with people getting this stuff, you know, in their system, that already is causing division.
It is. I see it.
It's where they want to stay, I guess. I guess they want to stay stuck in front of their tube, their TV, and getting these, you know, baby Jabberwockies. I just had a vision. I don't know if I told you, but yesterday, I was in a room where people were getting these, you know, intravenous things in them, and they were getting these huge bumps on their shoulders, huge marble-sized bumps, and they were so proud. They looked at me. One of the ladies looked at me and says, "Vero, are you gonna take that?" And I'm like, "Nope, nope." And I woke up from that, and I'm like, "Nope." You know, it's.
I do not consent to any of that. I mean, but I don't have any judgment for anybody that has already done it or is thinking about doing it. You know, that's a personal choice. My personal choice is that I'm not going to take it. And my doctor agrees that it's, you know, I can't even take a Tylenol or an ibuprofen without getting deathly sick. So I can't take anything like that. I have a friend of mine who has lupus, and she went to go get the shot because she was so worried about losing her job. These mandates, I just don't think that they're right at all. You know, not right at all. That, you know, the government is there to protect our rights, not take them away. And that's kind of what I feel like what's going on here. I mean, there's going to be, you know, 96% of the world's population. If we just stood up and said no more, that would be it.
Oh, it's funny that you reminded me of something. Like they say, oh, there's 700 billion people in this world. Well, you know what? I don't think so. I think they lie about that too. I think because they try and do this whole depopulation agendas, you know, it's like, there's all the food in the world that we need. We can grow it ourselves. You know, it's out there. Free energy's out there. The med beds, you know, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, the med beds are coming. Yeah, but what's going to be the price, you know? And I had a vision where I was in Venus, and a lot of people were, that's where I was in the Project Kruger when they had me, you know, with the metallic arm, and they had these lines attached from the top of the ceiling, and it was like a white laboratory made out of like the parachute. And there were some older people, younger people, they were hooked up to these IVs, and they were selling their soul because they were promised that if they did everything right, you know, the baby Jabberwockies and all that stuff, that they would guarantee that their family would be monetarily be taken care of, and that they would have eternity, live for life, live forever, that they wouldn't have to die. And I'm like, we are eternal, you know. There was one guy who I did have one memory with, and I had to block him because he kept telling me, why are you talking about this stuff? Why are you talking about the black goo? Why are you talking about the Planck technology? Why are you talking about the AI that's trying to take over? You know, because it's the truth. You know, the whole thing with Elon Musk talking about how they're trying to open up these portals, CERN umbrella project under in Texas. How did I know that? I don't know. I just knew this. I started talking about it in 2017. And now they're talking about, you know, how he wants to connect everybody to the satellite to, you know, through Neuralink, and it's beginning already. Like it's beginning with the people that are quadriplegic or they don't have their limbs. They're being promised that they can actually work through a visor on the internet, and they can actually see themselves working on this computer, you know, and getting paid for it. And then what's the next step? They're going to be promised their legs if they give their soul, if they give their DNA, if, you know, if they promise their firstborn, just stupid stuff. But that's their life. That's their reality or reality. It just, I don't know. It's all I know is that I got myself out of the matrix and I don't live here no more. I live in my safe layer. I help people heal. I help them love themselves, find out who they are and their mission, and connect with you and others, and just keep going, because this is a game that we're playing. And but I have my little safe layer here and I protect everybody around me. So I just, whoever wants to be stuck to the TV, I guess, to the fake news, so be, but not I, said the fly.
Yeah, I was like amazed. There was like someone who is over from the Orient, from Asia, and they were saying, well, you watch the news, we don't, well, somebody's like, do you have the news there? They're, well, yeah, but we don't watch it because we know it's propaganda, and that's the thing that we have to understand, is that, the media and everything is controlled. There are things that they can say, and there are things that they can't say, and there are things that they're supposed to say. And, as someone who's really in tune, I see it, I can feel it. It's like, I feel the lies. I feel the, dishonesty, and I can't even watch the news. I haven't watched it, I'd say, since the beginning of the year. And it's like, what, it's going to be 2022. So I haven't watched it for almost a year. And I think I watched 10 minutes of it, and it was just like, ugh. It just made me feel so depressed. It just brought me down. They don't ever, you watch the news and you don't ever see anything, heartwarming, or anything that, makes you feel like, we're all in this together. It's always something, they'll just bring you down. I mean, there are things that they concoct to, like,
buy more
to hurt us.
Yeah, so yeah, speaking of healing, I remember that, you told me you were doing some Reiki, and then I'm very proud of you, because now you have a website. So you want to tell people how, they can reach you, and how you healed yourself, or how long has it been that, you don't need any of that stuff that the doctors were giving you, etc.
Yeah, it took a year to detox off of everything, but I didn't need any of it. So you can come and check out my website. It's www.risingspiritreiki.com. I'm usually only available in the evenings, because I'm trying to, like, get up a little bit more money. So I took an actual paying job. But I do evening Reikis, and if that doesn't work with your schedule, email me. You can email me, or you can reach me on Facebook, Eve Howard, or I'm also on Facebook with Rising Spirit. You can do a search of Rising Spirit on Facebook, and my page will pop up there too. On WhatsApp, and I think my email is on my website. And we can make, I can do special healing. 30 minutes is usually what I do, and that's 60. I do an hour. I have yet to have anyone do an hour yet, but I can do an hour. So that's $110 for an hour. I'll do the healing, and then usually I have a pad of paper next to me when I'm doing the healing, and I get like these I like write down things, symbols, anything that comes up during the time, pull in a lot of psychic energy. I'm able to address a lot of topics that people are, bothering them, or something's bothering them. And then after the healing, I'll go through everything that I received message wise with my guides and whatever. And then I usually take some snapshots of what I drew, and I'm not the best drawer, but you get the point. And then I'll send it to the person and whatnot. And I also do packages, so you can buy like 4 packages for the price of 3. I do blocks. I mean, anything. It's very relaxed setting. We can do it by Zoom, or we can do it by Facebook. We can do it by the phone,
Telegram?
Yeah. I don't have Telegram.
You know
I'm trying to think.
about Telegram is so cool. Like you can actually make calls like with the whole group. I've been on.
Oh, that's the thing. I do group healings too. So basically, I've worked with people that have been suffering from COVID and have been in a coma. I was able to go in and get the person's permission by astral and pulled her out of her coma. The doctors had no idea. To this day, they're still baffled. How did that happen? They were going to take her off the ventilator and let her pass away, and it wasn't her time. So I brought her back, and then I've also worked with people that had autoimmune problems like lupus. And it's, you know, everybody just, I like pull in whatever's bothering them. So, I mean, if there's like a arm problem bothering, or they're have migraines, sometimes I will actually feel what they're feeling at the same time. And that's how I'm able to heal, because I know what's wrong, where to start. So I use a lot of my abilities as well as healing. And I love doing it. I love helping people. Definitely a helper.
Heck yeah. And yeah, that was nice. I too have, when one of my aunts, she was in coma a few years ago. My mom's like, Vero, come, she's dying. We need you to come, and can you put your hands on her? And so yeah, she got out of her coma and she lived another 5 years. So I thought that was pretty cool. I love it when that happens. I really do. Like, you know, we all do have the power to do that, but I just feel that we got to let go of the baggages that, you know, that have been built even, you know, before we were born by our, you know,
oh yeah,
lineage, our ancestors. And you know, now that we're awakened and that we're healing one another and each other in our hearts, and just being true to yourself, I think, you know, that more power comes. Like I've been able to cut more cords. There's some personas that have come into my astral and try and trick me, and it's like, nope, I release ties with them. And the more I've been releasing, the more I've been clearing, the better I feel. More miracles, like people here on earth call it miracles, happen every day, you know. And I use a money mantra. Do you want to hear it? Maybe it'll.
Yes, I would love to hear it.
I've been studying this. I've been saying this over and over in my head, like especially if I feel anxious, or I memorized it, and there's others that you can do too when you're feeling anxious, like everything works out for me and my children, or everything works out for me. This one is, I am so happy and grateful now that money and prosperity comes to me and my children in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Abracadabra. That one is, yeah, the Bob Proctor one. I added a few things. And because, you know, prosperity is higher than healing, higher than money, higher than, you know, everything. So you could add things in there too, happiness, unity, you know, whatever. But, or you could just say prosperity and have it mean everything.
That's nice. My daughter does that. She's like, has this little saying that she's like, I'm so lucky, I'm so lucky. And then she just keeps chanting that over and over and over. But I do the same thing when I go shopping or anywhere. Everybody's like, you always get the best parking spots. And I was like, because I say it as soon as I come into the parking lot, I always get the best parking spots. I say it to myself, and bam, I always do. And it's amazing. You know, you have to be able to just pull that, you know, it's a simulated world, and it's just like a program, and you have to be able to go into it and be able to program it. It takes some time. It's not overnight. Definitely not overnight.
We're programmers in the SST too, so we have to be very careful when, you know, because we were talking about the other day about the dark crystal and the light crystal. We, you know, we want to talk about that. In the beginning, you know, there was a war when we were dragons, and you know, while we're here again to win this war, and how just how we're able to manifest, you know, pull whatever we need to into the here and now, you know. But just it's weird because, and I know we could talk about this in another program, but in another show, but it's like, it's weird. And now I see it, but before I didn't see it, how when you first come out to be a super soldier, to say, oh, I was used in these programs. It's so funny how you mentioned, yeah, they smell blood like sharks. You know, it's like, oh, well, now this person will contact you that's really famous, right? Or that person will contact you. And then you got to do this videos. And then, you know, you're all excited because, oh my gosh, I didn't know that somebody was going to take interest in me. I didn't know how big this was. And then you find out later that they were just using. So,
yeah.
Those of you that are, you know, feeling that maybe you were used in these programs, just be careful, use your intuition, who you're going to go with first, and don't sell your
definitely definitely use your intuition. I mean, if you don't feel right, or you're tentative and you're hesitant to say yes to an interview, listen to your intuition, because, you know, I mean, that's the reason why you were in the program and to begin with, is because you have special abilities and you have to use them. And they'll, you know, ask the universe, you know, I'm ready for my gifts. I remember I locked mine away for a very long time because I wasn't prepared to use them when I was a kid. And when that door opened, it was flooded. I was flooded. It was really hard. I really struggled with that. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, I agreed to do the show, is because we wanted to help people in this, and especially during the holidays, to be able to reach out to either myself or you, and, you know, just be there. It's like, I feel like I'm a beacon for a lot of people, because I get a lot of people that come to me and they're like, I've had these dreams, I've had these memories. You know, the suit that I used to wear, you know, I mean, these missions, I mean, my dreams are really weird, you know, I mean, it's like a magnet for this. Oh, yeah. So I'm definitely here to help people, you know. So I mean, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, because, you know, we're here for you. And we're not, you know, I considered there's two types of super soldiers. There's, you know, the light ones, and then there's the dark ones, and you have to be careful that you just don't fall into the wrong crowd. And you know, because they can rip you apart. They're like sharks, some of them. Oh, yeah. They smell a little bit of blood, a little bit of hesitancy, and they'll just rip in. And I'm just against all of that. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, either. So, okay, well, I think we'll end it for now, but we will definitely do another show. How does the second week of January sound for you? And
yes, I'll send you my schedule when I get it. I usually work mornings, but we can definitely do something.
Yeah, February thing, like a Valentines thing, you know, what's up?
That would be awesome. That would be totally awesome. I would love to do that, you know, because the Valentine's Day is also another program that, well, we can get into that when it comes.
Yeah. Just before we go, I just want to remind people, you know, don't live your life based on, I guess I should not say the word don't, but it's just look at your patterns. You know, are you falling into this love program where you have to be married at a certain time, you got to have that car, that career at a certain time, or else you're nothing? That's bull crap. That's BS. Are you having to buy extra Christmas gifts because there's somebody in town that's coming in, and you don't have the money? You know, either manifest it some way or say, hey, next time, or don't even at all. It's like, that's part of how they take the energy, the loosh from people, is you have to buy a gift for everybody, or you have to get a Christmas tree, or you have to, you know, celebrate this, or you like, kind of like when Passover too, it's like, oh, you can't eat meat, or you can't eat the chocolate, you know, that they give up for Lent. And that's another way that they use that Krampus guy too. It's like, oh, well, he's going to come and beat your butt, you know, if you do this and this and that. So what I'm trying to say is you got to remember to break away from those programs, from the you have to program. That's something that we learned from when we were kids. If you just want to sit there and, you know, let me just tell you this real quick to remind me myself. So Chad sent me this card. I'm so grateful. It says, I don't know if you could see it.
A little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Comfort food, lots of naps, all day pajamas, guilty pleasures, right? So he's reminding me it's okay. He wrote me a beautiful poem too. And I was like, that's the second person this year that writes me a poem. Kimberly O'Connor too. Thank you, Mama. So it's just, it reminded me it's okay to relax. It's okay to be you. You know, it's okay to eat that popcorn. It's okay to eat that little piece of cake. Just tell your body, hey, we're going to digest this and we're going to use it for good. Tell your DNA, we're going to use this to remember my memories from when I was a child and taking these programs, or to remind me where I come from. Who are my real parents? Who, you know, what is my real mission or missions? Use food, use water, use technology for, because, you know, technology is sentient being. You know, use the light of the candle to speak to it. You know, speak to yourself, speak your truth to yourself, love yourself each day unconditionally. Never give up on yourself, right? What would you people with Mama before we go? I love you, by the way, you know that.
Yeah, I love you too. Thank you.
Oh, them t-shirts. Hopefully your daughter will make those t-shirts for us. Tell everybody.
Oh, yes. Well, my daughter's a budding artist. She's really good. She's self-taught. And she was going to do a t-shirt, and we're going to post it on your website, on your Facebook, a link. It's going to be, what did I say? It was like, there was a little saying, something about green. Green.
With our colors.
Now you have to look it up. I can't remember, but she started working on it, so that was good. Let me see. I can pull it up here. And she's going to do a t-shirt with Sheila, She-Hulk, and Gamora. And it's going to have a little saying on it, and I'm trying to look it up right now, but boy, we talk a lot. I see all these messages.
Oh, I know.
I can't find it. Where'd it go? Let me see. Where's
okay.
I wish I would have sent you. Well, I think I did kind of send you a little thing. And what I wanted to actually look like. And it's gonna say, get your green on. Kryptonite, and get your green on, something like that. Get your green on, and there's going to be a picture of She-Hulk and a picture of Gamora. So she's hopefully we'll finish that by the end of the week, and I'd love to just get it into a t-shirt, and we're going to do. It's going to be so cute. I can't wait.
Nice, very nice. Yes. Jax is still working on my t-shirt. It's been a long time, but hopefully we'll get that one done. And he also helped you and me with our website. So if you all need to go to Jax on Facebook.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah. The awesome. Remember, we are awesome. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. When my son was little, I would always tell him, "You're awesome, mijito. Like you can do anything." My daughter too. I go, you know, you're. I love you. You know, you're so beautiful and you're so intelligent. I just didn't want her to grow up thinking that she just had to be all manicured, dolled up to be worth something. No, you know, it's like we're all very intelligent beings. You know, it's as women, we don't have to just grow up to take care of little. You know, like when we're little, we're playing with dolls and stuff. No, we got more than just having our beautiful children and being mothers and wives. We're more than that. Okay. So I would tell him, you're awesome. And then he's 22 now. How old is he? Yeah, he just turned 23, I think. But anyway, when he was 21, we were talking here and he's like, Mom, I'm so awesome. I go, yep, you're still awesome. You know, it's so remember, always going to be awesome. Who cares what people think? It's what you think at the end of the day, what you tell yourself in that mirror. And it's better to say, I got your butt, I got your ass, right?
Yeah.
And I love you, and you're a warrior, and I love you, you know. It doesn't matter why you think you're awesome or why you love yourself. No, you just do. Happiness is a state of mind. Knowing what you went through with you, you know, to get that little baby out of your heart and say, you know, I got you, and I'm never going to abandon you, right? That's we grow really, really strong with ourselves. Is like, I am never going to abandon my baby girl again, myself, you know, ever. It's like, we're never going to, well, exactly what we're talking about is like sell ourselves short for popularity. And that's what we started with. It's like, how much do you really want to be liked? How many selfies a day do you want to put? Why? You're putting your essence out there, unless you have a business, right? You're going to write things to encourage people. Yeah. But every day, why put those selfies out there? Why put your essence out there? Unless, because you got to be careful. And we're going to talk about this in the other program too. It's like the sex kitten program too. It's like, you know, there's certain looks or certain ways you look in that camera to lure those, you know, entities in. So be careful what you're posting. Just saying.
Yes, because everything holds energy. Everything can, even a picture can hold your energy, your essence. And when you put it out there and you know, you're looking for validation, and people will post things that are, you know, oh, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, but then you're going to get one person that says something negative, and it's going to affect you. It's going to affect your energy. So, I mean, be careful.
Maybe they send that energy to be bad. So it's like, just be careful. Put your bubble of protection if you're going to do that. I don't know. I'm just saying, because I see a lot of people, like when they come to me, I can help them see, you know, their loved ones and things like that. And I'll have them take a picture of themselves before I release anything and everything that they need, like hex removals or whatever. I'll have them take a picture on their own phone before and after, and you'll see the changes. And even before, you'll see the little demons, you'll see that, you'll circle things around. It's like, whoa, you know. And then after that, when I'm done and I release all that, they're like angelic, you know, they look all, their face totally changes, they're happier, they're more clear, you know. So sorry,
we should do that. You should do an exchange. I'd love for you to do a reading. I'd love for you to do a reading for me, and in exchange, you know, I can do you know, a healing Reiki session on you, and we'll do that, because, and you know, I just feel like I should. It's come to me about yesterday. I wanted to talk to you, but I was super busy. I'm like, you know what, we should do this, because I feel like there's something you need to tell me.
I know. Lots of things. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good things.
Yes.
And I'm going to have Miles Batson on next on the 22nd. And I'm going to ask him, see if he has a video or something on the Phoenix Lights. Maybe that'll jog up our memory. What do you think?
Yeah. Yes. I'm actually waiting. A friend of mine, she does like Chinese herbal medicine, and she made this concoction, and it's supposed to, you know, help with bringing back some memories, you know, of what was, you know, taken from us. And I'm kind of anxious to try it, but, you know, I mean, I've seen the after effects that it can cause, you know, of bringing up those memories, the repressed memories, and the memories that they wipe from us. And but you know what, you got to, you know, it's a balance. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad. You have to just take it, you know, and realize, you know, this is what's going to happen. But, you know, you need to jog those memories. I do. Yeah. I feel it.
I will message you as I always do. And then, yes, let's schedule for next week, just you and me.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm talking all that. Okay, I love you, Ella.
I love you too. Thank you so much for letting me be on your show. I appreciate it very much.
There's more to come.
Okay, definitely.
See you later.